Hey everybody, it's Mark, DoctorDeadwax, and it's time for another video. This is going to be after the Dig 33. Strangely, the last one of these I did was in October. I never thought I would go 6 months between after the digs, but anyway. Left Hand Brewing Nitro Milk Stout is the beer. Another beautiful cascade for those of you that have missed it. Yeah, that was far too long, wasn't it? Anyway, so recently I talked about jazz records I bought, and a bunch of people had wanted to see some of the stuff I got. So I bought 100 records. I talked about how I went into the store. There was this amazing cache of records that had just come in. The owner had bought them. This is not a store that usually has jazz. It's a store I go to semi-frequently, and the guy said $7 a record. I said, really, $7? He said, $6. Are you going to take a lot? He said, yeah, okay, $6 a record. So I took 100, and he charged me for 90. So you can do the math. Texted my wife. She said, then buy 100. I talked about this in my last video. Anyway, so I thought I'd show some of them. Also, hasn't been a great year for us lately, but and the biggest thing, I've mentioned this a few times, but the biggest thing that's gone on or gone wrong for my family was my dad was diagnosed with cancer of the throat about 6 weeks ago. And he had to go in for a biopsy like 2 weeks later, and they had to put him under to do that, and he's 89, and they don't like to put people that age under, and you never quite know if they're going to come back out, but he did, and he was fine, and they did the biopsy, and then they had to, it's like 10 days for the results of the biopsy, and then he had to meet with the oncologist, and he met with the oncologist last week, and the oncologist said that it's squamous cell cancer that's precancerous. Basically, he says he doesn't want to do a single thing about it. He wants to revisit it again in 6 months, and they'll decide whether or not to do any radiation then. But he said, where we are now with this, why would we risk even treating it with radiation? So, and that's the answer that I was hoping for. So we've been blessed, and all the other shit that's gone wrong, who cares? So, anyway, some records. Here's one. This is Randy Weston, How High the Moon. And this is on the Biograph label. And interestingly enough, this is signed by Randy Weston in what looks like 2001, yet this record came out in 1989. So somebody carried this around for, I think it was 89 this came out in. Anyway, so, sorry, 80. But I'm not sure that's first pressing or not. So that's one. Here's another. This is really cool. This is Jimmy Smith Sings Again, Stay Loose. This is on Verve. And it says DJ there. It's got the radio station call letters on it. I was talking to Joe, I was showing him a few of these, we were on Skype one day, and he said, and a technique that sometimes works on these is to use what's called a dry erase marker, which I got myself one of, and if you put it on the old magic marker, sometimes the chemicals in this will reactivate the ink in the magic marker, and then you can just wipe it off. So I haven't tried it yet, but that was a technique that he shared with me that I thought I would share with everybody. Anyway, so this says DJ on it, and it's promo. And what's really cool about this is, of course, Verve's promos were yellow label promos. So, and this record is in just fantastic condition, and this is an interesting record. It's not Jimmy Smith's greatest record by far. His vocals are not the greatest, but you know, $6, white label promo. Here's another. This is John Coltrane, Turning Point. And this is on Bethlehem. And a later pressing of that. Now, I looked this up, and I believe this is the same record that was released on United Artists, which I already have. Finally got a copy of this, which I never had, which is Freddie Hubbard's Red Clay. And I have this digitally, and this is just a monster of a record. One of Freddie's best, with Joe Henderson, Herbie Hancock, Ron Carter, and Lenny White. And CTI label. Again, another just pristine copy, vinyl-wise. I don't give a shit about the covers, as everybody knows. You don't play covers. So really happy to get that finally. That was the one great Freddie Hubbard record on CTI I didn't actually have on vinyl. Cheers, everybody. Here's a record from the Junior Mance Tuts from Junior Mance. I actually don't know anything about this record, so if anybody knows anything about it and wants to drop a line in the comments, I'd love to hear it. But this is a white label promo on Polydor. I'm not actually that familiar with Junior Mance, so I'm not entirely sure what I've got myself into there, if that's jazz or more soul. There's a record I've been looking for. This is Oregon, Elvin Jones together. This is Oregon and Elvin Jones, so the great kind of world jazz band Oregon with Colin Walcott and Ralph Towner, Glenn Moore, Paul McCandless, and then Elvin Jones on drums. So thrilled to get this because I've wanted this for a while, and this is on Vanguard. Again, another clean one. Just really happy to get this. I have Mary Lou Williams' Zoning, and I'm just desperate to find a copy of her record. I think it's called Black Saint of the Andes, or Black Christ of the Andes. I got that wrong, but I cannot find a copy of that record at a decent price anywhere. So, so happy to get something else from Mary Lou Williams. I don't think this is this is more straight jazz, I think, from Mary Lou, as opposed to Zoning, which is kind of spiritual jazz, as is the Black Christ of the Andes. But I'm really happy to get some Mary Lou Williams because I'm very interested in her and exploring her career. And this is on Chiaroscura, and I'm not sure if the label is supposed to be white or not. So I've seen Chiaroscura with yellow labels, so I'm not 100% sure of that. And also on the Mary Lou Williams tip, as the young'uns say, I was able to get this. This is Mary Lou Williams, the Ash recordings, 1944 to 1947, and this is on Folkways Records. So again, for $6, $5.40 in actuality. Comes with a book. Comes with 2 records on Folkways. So really happy to get that. Again, this is probably going to be more trad, jazz, straight jazz. Coleman Hawkins, Kenny Dorham, Vic Dickinson, Edmund Hall. This is going to be pretty straight up jazz. But still, to explore her roots and where she came from, you know, that's pretty awesome. Here's another one I got. Everything here is $6, or when you count what I paid for the lot, it was $5.40. This is Oscar Peterson's Oscar, and this is him and the quartet. Ray Brown, Oscar Peterson, Elvin Stoller with Barney Cassell. These were originally released on Clef, Norman Granz's Clef, and then subsequently released on Verve. So this is a later pressing on Verve, because an earlier pressing would have had the trumpet player on Verve, and then if they went to this label, but still, it's the price is right. Here's one I don't know anything about. Total blind buy. This is Bobby Bryant, obviously a trumpeter. This is on Cadet, but with a title like Swahili Strata. I couldn't not buy this. This just looked really like the kind of thing you know, you don't walk away from. I'm hoping it's kind of like that African-inspired Afro jazz from that period. But who knows what the hell it is, but still. And this was obviously a cut corner, but original on Cadet for $6. Here's another Jimmy Smith. This is called Jimmy Smith 75, and this is again a DJ sample record. Again with the call letters from the radio station that these were originally sourced from, and it's on the Mojo label. So I don't believe this label is actually a promo label, but anyway, still. Here's another. Don't know much about this. This is Lloyd Price, Music. Lots of blind buys in here for me musically, but just look like the kind of thing I should grab. Lloyd Price, Nate Adams, Ted Bodner, Jimmy Johnson, DC Dogs. I'm wondering if this is, again, if this is something that's more soul. This is on LPG Records, which is a label, again, I don't know very much about. This was just, I couldn't believe I got this. This is, and this is originally from Half Price Books, but this is Handscapes, the piano choir. Somebody got this for half of what I got it for. I paid $6 for this. Somebody got that for $3 from Half Price Books. But anyway, this is, I was just thrilled to shit to get this because this is Strata East as a label. I only have a couple things on Strata East, live at Slug's Place. Volumes 1 and 2 are the only two things, so always happy to find stuff on Strata East, and for $5.40 a piece for a double record. You know, this mightn't be the greatest date on Strata East, but still, it's Strata East, so it's going to be a great great listen. And this has Stanley Cowell, Nat Jones, Hugh Lawson, Webster Lewis, Harold Mayburn, Donnie Mixon, and Sonyless Smith. And oh, looks like a great bit of concept stuff. Here's old traditional jazz. This is the Chico Hamilton Quintet featuring Buddy Collette on Pacific Jazz Records 1209. It's funny, I don't quite know what to make of this. I think this is original. I looked this up, and there's a later pressing, and I can't quite tell yet. In some ways, the label makes me think this is later, but anyways, still a nice clean copy to get. Here's something on Enja. This is Gene Ammons in Sweden, so wow. Gene Ammons was the boss of the tenor saxophone. And also on here is Horace Parlin, Red Mitchell, and Ed Jones. So it's like it's not a slouchy session at all by any means. And here it is on the Enja label, just a super clean copy. Here's another one of these records that would have originally been on Clef. This is Jam Session 4, and again, this would have been on Norman Grange's Clef. Subsequently, this was released on Verve, and again, this is probably a later pressing on Verve because it doesn't have the original trumpeter Verve label, but I can't remember who's on here, but put Wardell Gray on tenor sax, Buddy DeFranco, Buddy Rich, John Simmons, Freddie Green, Basie, you know, should be a hell of a record. Here's another guy I don't really know. I bought for the label. And the players, Teddy Edwards Quartet with Kenny Drew, Jesper Lundgaard, and Billy Hart. So Billy Hart, just a great drummer, and all over the map musically. And this was on Steeplechase. So for something on Steeplechase, I thought it's worth taking a flyer on for the price, because I don't have a lot on Steeplechase, but it's a quality jazz label. Yeah. She's grumpy today. Here's, I thought was a really good buy. This is Thelonious Monk plays Duke Ellington. Now this is trash, this cover for sure, but you know, the record's in really nice condition. Needs a good clean, but this is a Blue Label Riverside, so. And the record's probably somewhere around between VG and VG plus, but you know, these old Riversides, my experience, they play super clean once you give them a good bath. So you know, just don't walk away from a chance to buy that at that price. I've also got a whole bunch of these. These are, wow, I'm at 16 minutes. I'll do 20 of this, and then I'll stop and make another one. Or maybe I won't. Maybe I'll just do all 100 here. Ben Webster at the Renaissance. So this is an OJC, Original Jazz Classics. These are supposedly from the late 80s. I don't quite know exactly when, but this one here says 1989. It was remastered. So, and these were put out by, I think it's Fantasy that put these out, because they acquired all of the different labels that these are on. So there's prestige dates, and this is contemporary dates. There's stuff on Fantasy. There's stuff on a whole bunch of different labels. And these are supposedly among the last of the true analog. Although this one remastered in '89 makes me think it might be digital, but what I've heard is these are the last of the true analog records that don't, unless they specifically say from the original analog tapes, completely analog, like something like Music Matters. So if you ever see this sticker, this OJC Original Jazz Classic sticker, you should pick it up. And this is Ben Webster at the Renaissance, and you know, that should be interesting. Those cover kind of more bebop to West Coast, traditional, and a little bit of hard bop is what I find most of the OJC titles to be. And I got a whole bunch of them, so that was cool. This is Monk Montgomery, It's Never Too Late. This is on Chiza. And I'm not sure this record's ever been played. And Monk Montgomery was Wes Montgomery's brother, and he was a bass player. So I don't have any of his stuff, so I'm glad to find that. Here's another OJC. This is Red Holloway with the brother Jack McDuff Quartet. This was originally a Prestige release, and so you can see it uses the original Prestige release label. But as you can see, all of the OJCs are clearly marked, if it'll focus, with an OJC label code. Wow. There. So they all say OJC. So make sure you don't pay real Prestige prices for records that you see OJC on, or real contemporary, or whatever the label is, because they do use like duplicates of the original label. But these are usually $10 to $25 records. Here's another one on Cadet. This is Possum Head by Lou Donaldson. I bought a copy of this offline recently that wasn't great, so I was really happy to get another copy of this. Here's a late Miles record that's probably a total turd, but you know, couldn't leave it. Amandla. This is, I think, 89. Yeah, this is 1989. And it's on Warner. He left Capitol at the very end. This is a great find for the price. This is a Japanese pressing of David Murray and Jacques Dijonette in our style. Comes with the Obi and it's on an original label. I don't think this got a North American release, so, and it's on the DIW label, so I was happy to get that. Here's one I know I'm pretty sure didn't get a North American release. This is David Murray Spirituals. Again, I'm pretty sure this might, yeah, this is also on the DIW label. David Murray was just a great sax player. Here's one I didn't have, an artist I just love. I'm pretty sure this is an original pressing. This is Roland Kirk, Left and Right. I have so much Roland Kirk, but I didn't have this, so it was just happier than could all be to get this. But this is on the orange and green, and I'm pretty sure that this would originally have been released on the blue-green for stereo and the orange-purple for mono Atlantic label. The label like I showed last time on my From Sealed to Revealed. But from 1969, I think that's the label it should have been. Here's one I did not have as of yet, and I'm just thrilled to get. And this is Freddie Hubbard's The Black Angel. I love Freddie Hubbard. That's a fantastic cover. I heard this is a great record, so I was really happy to get this. And from 1970, I think this is the right label. It should be on 1841 Broadway, and it is, so I'm pretty sure that's an original pressing of that. I have some stuff from this next guy, Duke Jordan, on Blue Note. But this is, again, this is on Steeplechase. Oops. There, Steeplechase. And this is a 2-record live date in Japan. I'm pretty sure this might be a Japan. I don't know. Let's have a look. Well, it's made in Denmark, so it's not a Japan-only release, but Steeplechase. And that has Duke Jordan, Wilbur Little, and Roy Haynes. So that should be a pretty good listen. As you can see, it's all kind of all over the map here, this stuff. Here's another Blue Note. I got a copy of this recently that didn't really live up to my expectations because the record was warped, and I'd hoped that I could flatten it and it would sound good, but when I flattened it, it had some heat damage which had caused the warp as opposed to, say, a storage warp. So there was actually like a distortion to the pitch of the record when the needle passed through the warped area after the record was flat. So that was disappointing, but it's nice to get an upgrade. And that's so clean. The one I picked up originally was actually a first pressing. Here's another Blue Note. This is a later Blue Note. This is Stanley Turrentine. A chip off the old block. And this is on Solid Blue Black B. Record I already have, but just a great record. This is Jacques Dijonette Pictures, and Dijonette can be, and this is an ECM, so I'll have to play it and see if it's as good as my other copy, but Dijonette's great. He's a multi-talented musician, but best known as a drummer, but also plays piano. here's a nice release on Prestige. This is Heavy, the Booker Urban Sextet. So this is Booker Urban, Jimmy Owens, Garnet Brown, Jackie Baird, Richard Davis, and Alan Dawson on drums. Jackie Baird is someone who I'd like to get more records from. And this is Heavy, the Booker Urban. So this is a green label Prestige, so I'm pretty sure that's not original, but it's still a Prestige. This is Pharoah Saunders, Themby. And this is a nice gatefold release. I actually have a copy of this that I've never cleaned and played, so now I have a second copy of this that I've never cleaned and played. But this is on the ABC Impulse label, and it's nice and clean. And I think this is Spiritual Jazz. Cover's a little split, but whatever. But interestingly enough, that's the ABC Impulse. I also picked up a later MCA Impulse of this that is not gatefold, and so definitely between that and the other two, I'm gonna, when I get them all together and kind of play them back to back, I'm definitely gonna have a copy to keep. And I know I have a few friends that'll trade me something for that, so that's a record I know a lot of people are looking for. Next is another David Murray record. This is David Murray, Solo Live, Volume 1, GECMA. CECMA 1001. And it's on the CECMA label. Don't know a lot about that, but I have some good David Murray. He can be all over the map. He can be almost post-bop to like just far out free jazz. So you never quite know what you're getting there. Here's a record from Abdullah Ibrahim. This is Akaya, or Home. This is Carlos Ward, Ricky Ford, Charles Davis, Dick Griffin, Cecil McBee, which is one of the reasons why I bought this record, and Ben Riley. And this is on Black Hawk. And I don't know what this is at all. This was a promo pressing originally, but I think this is from the era of the promo stamp, not the promo label. I don't know quite what this is, but it looks like it could be pretty wonderful, and it looks like the kind of jazz I've been looking for. Here's a Larry Young record. This is Mothership, Blue Note, Larry Young. Like, you cannot leave Larry Young on Blue Note. And this is Solid Blue White Beast, so a little bit later than the Solid Blue Black Beast. There's a couple more Coltrane records. This is the Best of Coltrane, Volume 1, His Greatest Years. This is a 2-record set. These are on ABC Impulse. And then here's the Best of John Coltrane, His Greatest Years, Volume 2. And this is still in shrink. This is a gatefold that's never been out of the shrink. And again on ABC Impulse. And I think I got another copy of this recently, about 2 or 3 months ago, that I haven't got around playing, but I'm not sure it's on that early label. Here's Montreux, Detroit International Jazz Festival. I'm not quite sure what this is, but this is CSP, which is CBS or Columbia Special Products. And I really have no idea quite what this is. A service of CBS Records. But the players on here really caught my eye. Dexter Gordon, Ramsey Lewis, Freddie Hubbard, Dave Brubeck and Jerry Mulligan, Charles Mingus, the Heath Brothers, Stan Getz, Count Basie. So there's like a track from each one of these greats. So I thought it would be interesting to pick up. I have no idea what this is. Bob Thiel and his orchestra. I saw Pine Top Spit Blood, but it's Flying Dutchman, so I wasn't going to leave something on Flying Dutchman. You know, I've had just great luck with the couple of Flying Dutchman records I've been able to find in the past. So this could be great. This could be not what I like at all, but for the price and the label, totally worth the risk. Total blind buy here. I have no idea what this is. David Schnitter, Thundering. But Kenny Barron, Cecil McBee, Billy Hart, Guilherme Franco, and Ted Dunbar. With Cecil McBee, that was an instant buy. Add in Billy Hart, and there's no way I'm not going to buy it. Throw in Kenny Barron, and we're looking at great stuff. And congos, percussion, guitar. I don't quite know what this is going to be, but it could be really interesting. And it's also on Muse, and Muse can be a real home run of a label at times. Here's another blind buy. No idea what this is. I think this might be Soul. It just looked like I had to buy it. Clifford Jordan, Soul Fountain. I don't know a lot about Soul. I wouldn't say Soul is a genre that's 100% about me, but I'm always looking to explore it a bit more. And this is on the Vortex label, and I don't know. I just thought it looked like the shit, So I had to buy it. So here's another one of these. This is a reissue of Little Milton Sings the Blues. This is part of the the original Chess Masters. So these are similar to like OJCs that I was showing earlier, original jazz classics. Reissues from the 80s of just classic blues records. In parallel, you never see them as often, but to the OJCs, the original jazz classics I was talking about, there's also something called OBCs, which are original blues classics. Now, this isn't original blues classics, but it is an original classic blues record. So, Little Milton sings big blues for $5.40 to get a super clean, which is a very hard thing to do with any era of blues records. Just really happy to get that. I have this already. This is Roland Kirk's The Inflated Tear. I'm not quite sure what year this is from. This is from '68. I don't think this is an original pressing with that label, but I have this. I don't remember quite what I have. I think the one I have might actually have an issue with it. So this is what's interesting is it kind of looks kind of but all of that is on the plastic, and the shrink is just kept the record cover super clean. So I will be able to have at least one great copy of that. Here's another record. It's on Mainstream. This is Blue Mitchell's Vital Blue. If I remember correctly, this might be this is a unipack with the record in here, but this is on the Mainstream label. I don't know about this record. It's not music I'm incredibly familiar with, but Blue Mitchell, he played a hell of a trumpet. And Walter Bishop, Stan Gilbert, Doug Sides, Joe Henderson, Ernie Watts, and Sussay Green doing vocal effects. So this has a lot of promise to be a hell of a record. So again, I was just blind buying anything that looked even mildly interesting at the price. Here's another one, Nat Adderley, You Baby. This is another CTI release. This is a label I'm not familiar with, CTI. This is the A&M label, CTI, but a super clean copy. I have a beat-up copy of this, so it was nice to get an upgrade of that for the price. Another Blue Note. This is Gene Harris. Now this is later Gene Harris on Blue Note. I'm not expecting a hell of a lot from this in a special way. This could be awesome or it could be terrible, but it is Blue Note. It's all the blue Black Bee era. So now I have no idea what this is. This is West Africa, Willis Jackson. Again, this Willis Jackson, Mickey Tucker, Ted Dunbar, Bob Cranshaw, Freddie Waits, Richard Landrum, and Sonny Morgan. I have no idea what this is, but this is one of these Muse releases, which I think this might be a reissue of this record from another label, because a lot of these Muses are, but they're really well done and they have incredible sonics. So I don't know what the hell that is, but I'm happy to get that. Here is another, I believe, yeah, this is an OJC. So here's an old record, Max Roach Quartet featuring Hank Mobley on debut. Max Roach with Hank Mobley on tenor, Waltus Davis on piano, and Franklin Skeet on bass. Max, of course, plays drums. And this is the original debut label, but as you can see, it has OJC on it. So they're always very clear about what's going on there. Here's The Last Poets with Bernard Purdie, Delights of the Garden. I don't know what the hell this is. This might be actually a spoken word over music. This is like poetry, or kind of that kind of, not beat poetry, but anyway, I don't know. But I've seen this a lot, so there was no way I was leaving it for $5.40. This is on Douglas. I'm not sure if this is original or not, but Bernard Purdie, he's the Purdie Shuffle on all the Steely Dan stuff and 6,000 other tracks. The man is a giant, a master of music. Here's an original, I think. This is the Tough Piano Trio with Kenny Drew, Philly Joe Jones, and Paul Chambers. And this is on Jazzland, and I'm pretty sure this is an original. I mean, the cover's beat up and split, but again, I don't play covers, but I'm pretty sure that's an original on Jazzland. So I don't think it's an incredibly valuable record, but it's always nice to get originals on Jazzland. Bobby Gass gave me an original on Jazzland earlier this year that I just adore, so, or late last year. Here's another OJC. This is The Hawk Flies High, Coleman Hawkins. So this is a Riverside label release, but again an OJC. So it's got the original Riverside label, but it has the OJC marking, Original Jazz Classics. Again, I can't stress enough, if you want to build a jazz collection and you don't want to spend huge money on stuff, that's good. A good thing to get. I don't know, I'd only heard about this recently. There's a movie called The Connection about heroin and jazz players and trying to score and stuff, and I guess it was an off-Broadway play as well. So this is The Connection. It's composed by Cecil Payne and Kenny Drew, and I don't know, but it's got Cecil Payne, Clark Terry, Benny Green, Duke Jordan, Charlie Persip, and Ron Carter. I mean, there's absolutely no way I'm leaving this record with that lineup. And this is on Parker Records, which I believe is Charlie Parker's label. I know there's 4 or 5 versions of this. I think I did not win with this version. I think this is probably the cheapest version. That's probably $10 to buy near mint on eBay. So I got a near mint copy with a bit of damage to the cover, but still, I've heard the music that's on there and it's pretty awesome, so I was very happy to get that. Here's another Dizzy Gillespie World Statement. This is on Verve. I'm pretty sure this is a mono on Verve. And see, here's the original trumpet player label on Verve that I was talking about earlier, as compared to the T, that T symbol that is later on Verve. I do believe, however, though, that again, this is another record that was originally released on Clef. The one rock record I bought was Zeppelin 1. I bought this because it's an 1841 Broadway, and it was $6, so what the hell. I don't have a lot of soul. I don't know a lot about soul. I'm just a white man with no soul. So, but This was Aretha Now, and this is on the original label with the green and blue stereo. So super clean, near mint, in shrink, has a delete mark. Who cares? Thrilled as shit to get that. Here's a reissue, early 70s, Kenny Dorham, 1959 on Prestige. I'm not sure if this is green or, yeah, this is the green label Prestige series. So again, really happy to get that. Not quite sure what this is. Cedar Walton Trio with David Williams and Billy Higgins. But, you know, just really happy to get that. This is on Rad Records. Another Rush On Roland Kirk. This is Blackness. I have a Canadian pressing of this on the Red Atlantic label. I think this is the right label for this to be an OG. I'm not 100% sure though. Here's another jazz player I don't know an awful lot about. This is Phineas Newborn Jr. I'm not quite sure what this is, but it's got Ray Brown on bass and Elvin Jones on drums. So I mean, it's a lineup you can't walk away from that lineup if you know anything about jazz. And this is on contemporary. This is a later reissue, I believe. Love this next guy, Horace Parlan, so happy to pick up something from Horace Parlan. This is a later record on Steeplechase from 1980. I'm not quite sure if this is just solo piano, but again, more Steeplechase. Happy to get it in the collection. Here's another one here. This is a Portrait of Thelonious by Bud Powell. I'm not quite sure about this. This is a mono pressing on CBS. This is a 2i mono. I'm pretty sure that's an original pressing. Nice clean copy. And Bobby Hutcherson, San Francisco, featuring Harold Land. This looks like it's just going to be fantastic, and this is Blue Note as well, and it's on this United Artists Blue Note label, and I don't know, that just looks like a great Blue Note period. We're getting down to the end here. Another thing I got that was blues was, well, we're not totally near the end, but Blues Box. This is another Folkways release, and this features Lightnin' Hopkins, Brownie McGee, Sonny Terry, Jimmy Witherspoon, Big Joe Williams, Richard Groove Holmes, Teddy Edwards, Frank Butler, Jimmy Bond, Herman Mitchell, Paul Moore. This is Verve Folkways, and this is a 3-record set. It comes with all the lyrics and everything, and it has nice sleeve, and I'm not quite sure what the tie-in is here with Verve Folkways, because the Mary Lou Williams I showed earlier was Folkways, not Verve, so I'm not quite sure what the tie-in is there. That's Folkways and that's Verve Folkways. So, but $6, 3 records, classic blues, like how are you ever going to find that stuff? And the next stuff I'm going to show is just a stack of sealed records that I also got for the same price, all part of the same buy. This is Earl and Carl Grubbs, The Visitors. I have an original pressing of this on Cobblestone, but here's a sealed reissue on Muse. It does have a split on the bottom. Here's 2 copies of Josh Jarman, the AACM artist on Delmark. So both sealed. Happy to get those. Here's one I've never seen before. Don't know a hell of a lot about this. Couldn't find out much about it online. Clark Terry, Buffalo State, May 30th, 1979. I don't quite know what the hell that is, but it's private press from, I believe, the college in Buffalo. It was released on Mark Records from Clarence, New York. And there's great flea market in Clarence. Here's Lester Bowie, The Fifth Power. This is on Black Saint. This is sealed, but the shrink's a little ripped, but it's still sealed on this side. The record's never been out of the cover. And Lester Bowie is awesome. Sealed Art Blakey record. This is Art Blakey and the Jazz Records live at Kimball's. And just thrilled to get this because after the Marsalis boys left the Jazz Messengers, Whitten and Branford, I've talked about this before, Terence Blanchard and Donald Harrison replaced them, and I just love Terence Blanchard and Donald Harrison. I've seen Donald Harrison live, and it's probably the second best jazz concert I've ever seen. So to finally get something from the Jazz Messengers era with Art Blakey sealed for $5.40. And speaking of Harrison Blanchard, there's the Crystal Stairs from Harrison Blanchard sealed. I have this. I have a great copy of this, so I was really happy to get that. And that's a great record, just a great record. I think Harrison Blanchard are pretty overlooked as far as musicians go. And I also got Black Pearl, which is another Harrison Blanchard record, and it's again an excellent record. So really happy to get that. Mike Bostoni Reggie had sent me a Tiro Nakamura record, and I subsequently bought this record, a white label promo of this Manhattan Special, but mine has a stick in it, so really happy to pick up a sealed copy of that. I talked about OJCs before. Here's a sealed OJC of the brothers. Now the brothers are Stan Getz and his four brothers, Zoot Sims, Al Cohn, Alan Eager, and Brew Moore. It's tenor saxophones. So this is quite a cool West Coast jazz sounding record, so great to get a sealed copy of that. Here's Ornette Coleman, Virgin Beauty. I'm not sure if this is any good. This is, I think, 1989 Ornette Coleman, 1988, so I don't know. I'll have to listen to that one online before I open it. I'm pretty sure this is a reissue. Summer Dream by Sahib Shahab. I'm pretty sure this is a reissue of a recording from maybe the late 50s or the 60s. I know he's on my list of people to learn more about, so I definitely wasn't going to leave that behind. I have a friend who's been looking for this record for years. He of course he's looking for original, but here's an OJC of it, The Sound of the Wide Open Spaces. This is James Clay and David Fathead Newman. I think this is, and this is again an OJC. I think this is Fathead Newman's second record. I could be wrong. I think his first record was the one that he recorded with Ray Charles, because Charles couldn't get him a deal, so just recorded a Ray Charles record and called it Fathead. But anyways. So happy to get that. I believe, could be wrong, but I think, if I remember this correctly, Jimmy Earl of Suave sent me this record, and now I have a sealed copy of it. This is the David Murray Octet, Murray Steps. If I remember correctly, this is sealed. Sorry, this is sealed, but it's got a piece of shrink missing here, but it's still sealed along most of the opening. If I remember correctly, there was some stuff on here that was a little bit too far out for me from Murray, but then there's some stuff on there that was just fantastic. Another sealed one is Zebra, Jacques DeJohnette, featuring Lester Bowie. So this is a soundtrack for a movie, so again I was happy to get that. This has a little bit of a split there, but that's about it. Sorry, this is the one that was on United Artists from Culture, and this is a sealed copy with a different cover. Original United Artists cover is a black and white kind of smoky shot of him. This is a more modern cover, but yeah, this is the one that was on United Artists that I was talking about earlier for Turning Point. So obviously I had my head up my ass there, which is nothing new. A total blind buy here. I don't know what this is. This is the Nat Dixon Quartet Contours. I don't know what this is going to be like musically or not. I wasn't overly familiar of the players, except for Kenny Kirkland on piano. So I don't know. Could be a winner, could be a loser. The price was right. Lester Blowy's Brass Fantasy, Twilight Dreams. This is on Venture Virgin Records. $5.40 Lester Bowie record is a must-buy. Here is Jack DeJohnette Special Edition, Tin Can Alley. I have a pressing of this that was sent to me by Lazarus. I won a contest of his 3 years ago, almost. He sent me a copy of this. It's actually an excellent record. So here's a sealed sealed European German release of Chick Corea Piano Improvisations Volume 2. So just awesome to get a UK pressing. Here's 2 copies of Don Sebesky's The Rape of El Moro on CTI. Both of them are sealed. Both of them have delete marks in some way, shape, or form. This one has a cut corner, and this one has a slice. That's awesome. This will appeal to my audiophile friends. GRP Super Live in concert. Dave Grusin, Lee Rittner, Chick Corea, Diane Scher, Tom Scott. Here's another OJC. This is Milt Jackson with Ray Brown Jam Session. And another OJC, Phineas Newborn, A World of Piano. So that's most of them, and then I got just 6 more I wanted to show here, or 7 more. These were the things that just kind of totally blew me away that I was able to get copies of. This is Art Blakey and the Jazz Messengers at the Jazz Corner of the World. And this is a 47 West. And it's scratched, and you can feel them, but for the price I couldn't leave that behind. This is a white label promo of Illinois Jacquette's release on Epic. I got another copy of this recently, but it wasn't a white label promo. But there is an original white label promo on Epic, so that was just a phenomenal find, and this is probably Illinois Jacquette's greatest release. Damn close. Here's another one, and that is actually really nice condition. It's got a couple spots where it has a few little problems. This is the tenor scene with Eddie Lockjaw Davis and the Johnny Griffin Quartet. This is an original release on Prestige. I've actually played the ones I'm showing now. So, and this is a Bergenfield, I think. A Bergenfield. Yeah, Bergenfield, New Jersey. Prestige original pressing. So there's a couple scratches on it that don't really make like any repeating ticking sounds, which is just awesome. It just has a lot of background, like kind of crackle that once the music is playing, it totally overpowers the crackle. Here's another great record, Duke Pearson, The Phantom. As the DJ station notes here, all great. This is another one that I've cleaned and I've had a chance to spin, and this is really good. This is an original pressing on Liberty. It does have one scratch on it that ticks for about a minute. So I will definitely be looking for an upgrade of that. This was a phenomenal find. This is Grant Green, Street of Dreams, with Larry Young, Bobby Hutcherson, and Elvin Jones. And it's got the demonstration not for sale stamp on the back of it. This is a Blue Note original pressing in mono of this, and it's actually quite clean and just has a lot of kind of, again, low-grade crackle that this record, it almost is, the music overpowers any crackle for almost all of it except for about 2 minutes in one song that's a little bit, has some quiet passages. So that's a total fun, because that's, you know, as OG as you can get on that, and that is not a cheap record. And for me to get that for $5.40 is phenomenal. Next is Wayne Shorter, Juju. I never thought I'd own anything but a Music Matters pressing of this, so to find this was just... This isn't an original, this is a Liberty. It has a couple little issues that tick for about 30 seconds a couple times through the record, but wow, I never listened to this record. I knew this was a record I had to hear, but I just knew that I should wait to hear it on record. There's so much music in the world, and I have so much music, both digitally and analog, that there's no need to rush things in my life anymore. So I'd held off on hearing that, and I was just thrilled to get that. Not original, but you know, that's still a $40 record probably on Liberty. And then probably the find of the day was this. This is Something Else by Cannonball Adderley with Miles Davis, Hank Jones, Sam Jones, and Art Blakey. This is Blue Note 1595. The cover's in very nice condition. And the record is in very nice condition. It has a few scratches on it that don't click at all. Again, I cleaned the 6 of these on my friend's audio desk, and all there is just kind of low-grade crackle on this. So this is probably a $400 record in near mint condition, and this is by no means in near mint condition. This would be grading conservatively at VG minus, but it probably plays close to VG plus. So just throw the shit to get that. So anyway, that's it. That's everything I got. This video is 56 minutes long. I cannot believe I made a video this long. Anyway, some people had wanted to see what I got. That's what I got. That was what my wife said. I said, I think I want to get 100 records. And she said, well, get 100 records. And I think I did pretty well. And I know I'll probably sell the sealed stuff, and I'll probably make enough off of the sealed stuff to cover my end on all of it. So, because a couple of the sealed things that I'm interested in, I already have. So there's no sense in reopening. Probably 5 of the sealed things I will open. So anyways, thanks for sitting through this. And we got good news about my dad, so I'm really happy. And have a great day, everybody. Keep the record spinning.